Hello everyone, hope you are well. I wanted to continue my legend series, and today I wanted to give Pakistan's probably without any doubt Pakistan's greatest batsman that they have produced. Someone who was known for his unconventional style of batting and for his character on the field as well. Someone who used to get into trouble, real character himself, Javed Miandad of Pakistan. Before that, I want to say congratulations to West Indies for beating Australia first time in 27 years. Shamar Joseph. Well done to England as well for beating India. Oli Pope getting a big 196, and well played to Sabalanga and also Yannick Sinner for winning the Australian Open. Yannick Sinner definitely going to dominate world tennis in the future. Anyway, Javed Miandad, he was known for his unconventional style of captaincy and batting, and he was regarded by ESPN Cricinfo as the greatest batsman that Pakistan has ever produced. And Ian Chappell also once said that Javed Miandad was one of the finest batsmen in the history of cricket. He was born 12th June 1957 at Karachi, and he first class cricket he played in Pakistan. But county in England he played for Sussex, and he also played for Glamorgan. In all, he played 124 Test matches and he scored 8,832 runs at a stunning average of 52.57, and he scored 23 hundreds, and his highest score was 280 not out against India. And he played 233 one-day internationals and he scored around 7,500 runs, more than 7,500 runs, and his average was 41.70, and he scored 800s in international cricket, one-day cricket, and his highest was 119 not out. And in first class cricket, he has scored almost 29,000 runs and he has scored 80 hundreds as well. And he's very famous for something he did in 1986. A lot of people remember that in 1986 versus India at Sharjah, when Pakistan needed four of the last ball to win, he hit Chetan Sharma for a massive, huge six. And that was very famous. And it was the first time ever that an international game had ended that way. Six of the last ball to win the match. It was difficult. When he came into the Pakistani team, Pakistan was loaded with a lot of talented batsmen. Mustaq Mohammad, Zahir Abbas, Asif Iqbal, just to name a few. Sadiq Mohammad as well. And it was difficult to get into the Pakistani team, but because of his big talent and his reputation, Javed Miandad made the team when he was only 19 years old. His debut test match was against New Zealand, and at Gaddafi Stadium at Lahore, he scored 163, and he became the youngest batsman in test history to score a century on debut at the age of just 19. And in the third test match, he scored 206 runs in the third test match at Karachi, and he broke George Headley's 47-year-old record, and he became the youngest batsman in Test history to score a double century at the age of 19 again. So that was a very special achievement, milestone from Javed Miandad. He's still the youngest batsman to score a double century at the age of 19. And he also became the second youngest player to pass 1,000 Test runs. Kapil Dev was the youngest batsman to score 1,000 Test runs, and he also became the fastest Pakistani to pass 2,000 Test runs in a Test career as well. And there was a famous incident in 1981-82, the tour of Australia. In the first test at Perth, the WACA, he had a very strange incident with the great Dennis Lillee. When Miandad was running for a run, Dennis Lillee blocked him, and Dennis Lillee kind of kicked him with his leg on Miandad's pad. Dennis Lillee kicked Miandad on the pads, and Miandad took his cricket bat, and he showed that he was going to hit Dennis Lillee with the bat, and Dennis Lillee was running for cover. And that was one of the most bizarre incidents that happened on a cricket field. But Javed Miandad was never one of the players to back off from an incident like that. And there was also a famous incident in 1992 World Cup. He jumped up and down. It was called the kangaroo jump to irritate Kiran More of India, the wicketkeeper. A lot of people will remember Javed Miandad jumping up and down in the air. So he was a character. He did a lot of things. But as a batsman, he was excellent. He had a very unique technique, and he had a very impressive control over his batting. He was not the most stylish or graceful batsman, but he was such an effective batsman. I remember watching early in my mid 80s, late 80s. Javed Miandad was very difficult to get out. He used to come and bat with his white helmet. And I would say that he was like the most street smart batsman. He was a very smart batsman. He knew how to play the game. He had a big appetite for runs, and he definitely had a very good concentration. Had very good concentration and temperament for batting, and he just used to know how to get big runs. And there was once a partnership. I mean, in that 1982-83 series against India, there was a big record that Pakistan created. They created a world record for the top three batsmen in any Test series. Mudassar Nasser, the great Pakistani legend, he scored 761 runs in that series, and Zahir Abbas scored 651 runs as well, and Javed Miandad was third with 594 runs. So they three of them created a world record for the highest top three batsmen in any Test series. And once Javed Miandad had a 451 run partnership in Hyderabad versus with Mudassar Nasser, and that was the third. That was a world record for the third wicket partnership, and it also at that point equaled the highest, equaled the world record for any Test wicket. It equaled the record of Sir Don Bradman with his partner, 451 runs. It is in that series. I mean, he got 280 not out against India as well. And Javed Miandad was also him. And the 1992 World Cup that Pakistan won under Imran Khan, Javed Miandad's batting was very significant. He made significant contributions with the bat in that World Cup, especially in matches where Pakistan were in really big trouble in the finals and even against semi-finals. Javed Miandad scored very important runs, so that was one of his big achievements as well, contributing to that victory in 1992 World Cup. And Javed Miandad also has a rare record. I mean, with the Sachin Tendulkar and even Mithali Raj of India, he's one of the three players to have appeared in six World Cup competitions. And Javed Miandad also has a very rare, unique record. He is the only player in the cricket history to score 100 on his in his first Test and also in his 100th Test. He's the only player who has done that in cricket history. His first Test 100 obviously coming in on his debut against New Zealand, and in his 100th Test he scored 100 versus India. And Javed Miandad also has a world record. He's a batsman to have the most consecutive one-day internationals half centuries, and he has 9 of them. He scored 9 half centuries consecutively in one-day internationals, and it is a world record. No one has done that. And he has also scored 6 double hundreds for Pakistan, and no Pakistani has scored 6 double hundreds, and is also sixth overall in the history of cricket, the number of double centuries. And he also he was excellent. He was the captain of Pakistan for a long time. But after that 1981-92 incident with Dennis Lilly, some of the senior players refused to play under his captaincy, and eventually the captaincy went on to Imran Khan. Javed Miandad was the captain until then, but it's after him that Imran Khan was made the captain. But Javed Miandad and Imran Khan had a very good understanding and relationship, and they did a lot for Pakistani cricket. And Javed Miandad has scored tons of runs. I mean, in many series, he has averaged more than 100, 120 in many Test series he has played. So that is one thing about Javed Miandad. He had an appetite for runs, and he scored big runs. And he was also famous when Pakistan won their first tournament, the Asia. It was called the Asia Cup, not the Asia Cup, Australia Asia Cup, and he made 100 in that finals. So it was the first time Pakistan won a tournament like that. So a lot of records in Javed Miandad's name. The most one being the youngest double centurion at the age of 19. He broke the world record of George Headley. The record that stood for 47 years, that stood 47 years. and he's still the youngest to do that. And by the way, his average of 52.57 is the highest test average for any Pakistani batsman. So Javed Miandad having a lot of records in his name. He was an amazing one-day player as well. I remember watching him when I was young. I mean, he used to really rotate the strike a lot. He really had so much match awareness about him. He knew how the match was going, and he would take his time. He would take the singles, twos, and when the opportunity presented itself, he used to score the boundaries. I mean, there was once a match where he scored like 100 and something, 20 or 33 of just 70, 80 balls with a 100 and almost 154 strike rate. I mean, I'm talking about 80s, remember? So, I mean, in this, even in 2024, with all this T20 cricket, a strike rate of 154 is regarded so high. I mean, in the 1980s, he scored around 100, I think it was 133 of 80 or 90 balls, and his strike rate was around 154. So that shows how Javed Miandad was ahead of his times. I mean, he could play the waiting game and take the singles and twos and consolidate an innings. But when he wanted to score quick runs, you could score the boundaries and the sixes. He was a very attacking batsman as well, and very, like I said, he was a very street smart batsman. One of the most finest cricket brains, batting brains that I've ever seen. And no wonder ESPN Cricinfo rated him as the best batsman Pakistan has ever produced. So that is my video on Javed Miandad, definitely Pakistan's greatest batsman ever, who holds a lot of records in cricket. So that is my video on Javed Miandad. I hope people have enjoyed this. A lot of people will have fond memories, and probably people will have a smile and a chuckle remembering Javed Miandad's on-field behavior and some of the incidents he has had on the field, especially that with the Dennis Lilly, the one with the Kiran Murray in 1992 World Cup as well. So anyway, thank you for joining in. Take care, and God bless you.